This episode of Good Morning Wilmington is brought to you by DART, Delaware's public transit service, moving you forward.
Morning, Delaware. Good morning, Wilmington. What's going on, you guys?
Good morning.
How are you? How was your weekend?
Great, and yours? Good.
It was good.
I did your favorite thing. I went on the boat on Saturday. That's what I did.
Killing me. I'm
nice.
almost there.
I know.
I'm about to get my license. I'm working on a boat. This weekend I was up in Philly. Got to
Yeah?
go see Eric Darius, the
Nice.
jazz musician.
Ooh. How was that?
That's some good jazz.
Amazing.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Amazing.
I'm
I
jealous.
love Eric Darius. You know, I'm like a pop-up at heart, so I love him.
Old soul,
Well,
nothing wrong with that.
I mean,
That's
you
all
ain't
right.
got to be old like jazz, but
Yeah.
I love it. I love
Nothing
it.
wrong with that.
Yeah. How about you? What'd you do?
I had an event that I hosted or coordinated, excuse me, somebody else hosted it, but I coordinated an event. You know I do events as well. So that was really cool. I got to do that on Saturday, and then Sunday had some basketball, you know, that basketball life. And now here I am on Monday.
Well, it's not only are you good at events, Miss HR,
You know.
professional. I don't know if you heard, but
Of course
our
I did.
governor signed
been
the
busy.
minimum. He's been very busy this summer.
Definitely. He's
been really
he
busy.
signed the minimum wage bill. That was last Monday, and it's a
Yep.
gradual increase that's going to happen between now and, well, starting now, January 2020. It starts at 10.50.
Yep.
And it's going to be gradual for next few years. So if you didn't
Right.
know, last Monday our governor, shout out to him for signing that bill. That was
Definitely.
pretty
Pretty
major.
good. Yeah, and we kind of talked about this before. I mean, we mentioned
did.
it. I think what was it recently, where it went up to him for signature. So
Definitely.
here we are.
Yeah.
Indeed, 2022, that's going to be super big. Again, those gradual increases. Super excited. There's about 8% of the workforce that is
That falls under the
receiving
minimum
that minimum wage. So I'm sure they'll be excited to hear that there will be that gradual increase over the next few years, leading us up to that $15 an hour in 2025.
Yeah, and it's, there's an estimate about 35,000 people in the state of Delaware currently earning minimum wage.
Was it 30?
So,
I thought it was a little more. I thought-
34,000.
Was it 34?
34,000.
8%.
Yeah, 8%.
Yeah,
8%.
yeah. So I'm looking forward to that
Yeah,
increase.
most
I mean, we
definitely.
got some
And if
mind blare.
if I remember correctly,
No,
it's
I'm
going up like about like $1 a year, roughly.
Yeah.
Roughly.
That's why
Roughly.
I said it's going to be gradual.
Yeah.
for those.
Indeed. And you know, I think about a lot of the light industrial workers, you know, they're going to be really excited working in those warehouses, no longer getting such a lower minimum wage, getting that increase. Think about, we have the Amazon fulfillment centers here.
Oh, over on and
Yeah.
there's the new big one going on Boxwood Road. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's like a really big deal. I understand that. So.
Yeah.
No, that's going to be good. And I was happy to see my friend Jimmy Maravellis. He's the president of the state AFL-CIO union present. So I know all the union workers are excited, especially just being there to see that bill get signed. So Delaware is moving in the right step. I'm excited.
Indeed, there's
Yeah.
so many awesome changes in the state of Delaware. It's such a, and you guys have heard me say this so many times, it's such a prime time for Delaware.
Yeah.
It
All
is.
over, but specifically for the state of Delaware.
Well, and I've always said it too, that, you know, call it a pitch, call it what you will, but for the size that we are, it makes no sense for why Delaware is not leading the charge across this entire country.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Like, we should be, and we're getting there. And I'm excited about how we're gradually getting there. And speaking of gradually getting there, Governor Carney again signed another bill.
Yes.
He signed mandatory body cams for police officers statewide.
Yes.
Statewide.
Yes.
That's huge.
Yeah.
We just talked
So
about that
we
on the
just
show
did.
did.
a
So
few episodes ago.
when we talked about that, it was just with the city police department. And that's if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure it was just the city police, and now it's a statewide.
Yeah.
So that's a really big deal, awesome change, especially, you know, in the wake of what happened with George Floyd.
Right.
That's what I believe has really provoked having these kinds of changes. So I'm excited to see this being statewide mandatory.
And make
Yeah.
no mistake that, you know, while this, I feel that with the Black Lives Matter protests and the wake of George Floyd, you know, this is beneficial to all races. This is beneficial to everyone.
Everyone,
It's
including
beneficial
the police.
including the police.
Including the
because
police, absolutely.
right now, in a day and age where we're moving in 2021, where everything's virtual, everyone's got their cameras out, everyone's seeing the power of recording, you know, incidents that are going on. It's good to have all vantage points.
Absolutely.
So that way
I
you're
agree.
protecting police officers. And
Yeah.
a big shout out to the Delaware Black Caucus, because they were very instrumental with this Justice for All agenda with getting this bill pushed. So I'm excited.
It's
about
exciting.
And I know we just recently talked about it within the city, like I think maybe like less than a month ago. So it was
Yes.
this is a really quick turnaround, which I think is
is.
great. But I remember we talked about, you know, who's going to review these? How often is it going to be reviewed? So I wonder what the differences might be from what the city's doing statewide. Are they going to adapt the same things?
I would love to carry on this conversation. I'm super curious, and I'm the kid of my father. He was in law enforcement. He was a city policeman. So just understanding both sides of the conversation, I would love to have a more robust conversation. So not only can we understand more, but also all of our viewers who do have those kinds of questions. And I'm always on social media looking at all of the banter that takes place surrounding these big changes that happen.
Told yourself trolling.
Not trolling. It's called informing myself.
There you go.
Okay,
There
so
you go.
you
And
know,
an
I just love to
unbiased
hear what the
information,
people are
right?
saying. It's like kitchen table conversation, you know.
Yeah.
No, I hear you.
So I would love to be able to keep it going by having some folks come in and you know.
And folks need to continue informing themselves, because there's so many mixed reviews about opinion about data and how things are going to get
Indeed.
stored. And you and I we were just talking about last few episodes back about Senator Lockman's bill and how that's
Exactly,
going to
yes.
be beneficial for the Civilian Review Board. You know,
Definitely.
so again, yes, like Kristen, inform yourself. And
Yes.
I would love to know
You know what?
how the Civilian Board is going to be involved.
I'm
with that.
going to actually encourage all of our viewers, join the Good Morning Wilmington Facebook group.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
make some comments. Keep
Yeah.
the conversation going. Why don't
Yeah,
you? You know, let us know what your questions and concerns are, and we would love to have a more robust conversation surrounding
I'm
this.
sure for those that are
Absolutely.
watching right now, I'm sure
Yeah.
there's some questions and comments that we can share.
Yeah.
Exactly. Senator Tizzy Lockman, jump in there too.
Yeah.
Tell us more.
Yeah,
Indeed.
because I'm sure viewers would like to have questions answered. So.
Yeah, I mean, and to go back to your point about staying informed too, also, like, for me, it's one of those things where, yes, stay informed, but also be mindful of where you're getting your information.
Yeah,
Yes.
very true.
Always consider the
Yeah,
source.
because I see a lot of that too. I mean, kind of like what you were saying, like I'll see things on Facebook and, you know, I'll read something, but is that really true?
Yeah.
And you really have to evaluate what the
Yes.
source
Well,
is.
and then for those that are watching, you know, a big shout out to one of our DETV family members, Kerwin, with the agenda.
Oh, yes.
You know, you
Yeah.
can always
Yes,
check out
the
the
agenda.
agenda and listen to his one-on-ones with our
Definitely.
local elected officials.
I'm always-
He's literally breaking down these
I
bills.
am always paying attention.
Yeah,
to
he
Kerwin.
is breaking
Yeah.
down these bills
His show
line
is
for
so awesome.
line, and he's made it known to the general public. Either you are at the table or you're
not.
on the menu. So
right.
let's be at the table
You have to
and
stay
figure out how
informed.
things are going to affect
Exactly.
us. Yeah. And then speaking of affecting us, there was some big chemical or contamination
Yes.
issue that
Yeah, with AI.
yeah, that rendered us to get as a state what 50 million.
50
50 million.
Yeah.
Can I get a piece of that? Because
Listen.
inhaling some
You know what?
toxic air is just
all
a
of that
little,
contamination.
I do have a question about that because I know that the Delaware got the $50
Yes.
settlement, and I know that there's still like questions on what they're exactly going to do with that settlement. But my question is, and I want to do a little research on this, is are there other lawsuits and things that are happening against us
That's a
for
really good
private
question.
people who maybe were affected by the contamination? Because these are forever chemicals.
They are.
So I'm curious to see, you know, so maybe you could, Jordan. I don't know.
I don't know. Well, I know the CDC did a huge study that basically showed that what is it? A good majority of individuals in Newcastle County have some of the chemicals in their actual blood.
Oh,
I
dear
think
God.
there's
And-
three specific ones.
Is there?
I
Is there
think
like
so.
3? So
Oh,
to
dear
me,
God.
that renders some questions. And
that
going
what-
back to your point,
Is that what's wrong with some of us?
I just listen some. Maybe more than others, but listen, I'm just saying.
Well, I mean,
We need to figure this out.
But on a serious
Yes.
note, like the biggest concern is the cancer rate.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh
it's
my
no
gosh,
secret that
yes.
Delaware has a really high
Really
cancer
high.
rate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and looking at these types of things and looking back at other things like this, it's, you wonder, you know, how much of it is a contribution to the cancer rate.
know.
And, you know, is it, again, it goes back to my question, are there like private suits? Like, are there,
There
can
has
people,
to be. There has to be. And then
or
to
it's
know,
coming, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
So and I'm kind of referencing here, but everything that's been linked to cancer and the other health problems that have occurred is being linked to it being found in drinking water in all 3 of Delaware's counties.
Oh, wow.
So, and I'm super curious, and I know Flint, Michigan was a different scenario, but they had a scandal surrounding their drinking water.
Yeah, that was huge.
I can't help but to think about that.
That was really huge.
It was extremely huge, and I'm still looking for some answers with resolution there with some things, but that's a whole nother conversation. But here in my home state, I'm super curious, you know, what's going to be done with these funds, whether it be sampling, testing, cleaning up. What are you really going to do to make sure that something is done? You're doing your best to put forth a good portion to rectify the damage and preventative
absolutely
solutions.
Well, I need to know more because folks wheeze inhaling some air, wheeze drinking some water, and you have something to say like that, wheeze, because that air and that water and everything else that's being contaminated, it's messing with some folk.
Most definitely.
Hence why we need to get some questions answered.
I agree.
And even in that same spirit, you know, getting some questions answered, I'm sure it renders and gives bad kind of contamination to your body and to your spirit. I don't know if you guys know about the Wilmington Water Lantern Festival or not, but it's basically encouraging where you push out bad energy and welcome good. I'm all for.
I feel like I do that on a daily basis in
Listen,
my home.
listen. You got to do it everywhere. Don't just do it at home. Do it at work. Do it in the office. Do it at who you work with. Because good Lord, I'm pushing out negative and welcoming and good. So I've never been to a Wilmington Lantern Festival.
I have not either.
No.
I just recently heard about it. I'm not completely informed, other than knowing it's about the shift of energy and, in a sense, protecting oneself from that negative energy. But I would love to learn a little more about it.
Me too.
And I'm curious how many other people know about it and how many
And
people
I don't even think a location has been determined as of yet.
That's super curious.
I know.
Where do
How
they
do you
have
have a
something
festival?
like that?
I don't know.
I
But
can only imagine
Really?
it has to be held outdoors.
so maybe you need to be in your backyard and just light a lantern and
Have a yoga mat.
I don't know. Kumbaya.
I don't know.
Namaste.
I don't know.
Namaste.
Get the bowl. I don't know. So hopefully we'll get some questions answered when it comes to this
definitely.
chemical issue. Because Lord knows I need to know because
Yeah.
I am not comfortable with all of this.
I get it.
And hopefully I get a cut of this
Yeah.
money.
No, the funds are definitely
I
going to
need
go
some of
towards
the-
some
I
kind
need
of
some of that
resolution.
cheese
Yeah.
sent
I
my
know.
way. Like,
Well, there's going to be some sustainable solutions with these funds, so I'm super excited to see what actually is going to come from it, how they're going to disperse it, what the resolution is. So now, as we go on, I'm super excited. We have something else new to talk about.
Yes.
So Bishop Beaman over at Bethel AME, he is newly elected.
Yep.
And Jordan, you got a chance to, you're going to go sit down with him.
I can't wait. I can't wait. This man's been active.
I know, indeed. Yes, he's so big in the community.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead over to, as Jordan goes to sit down with Bishop.
We're doing a lot of talking here in Washington, in the Senate, about infrastructure. What's that really mean? Well, if we move forward on the bipartisan infrastructure plan that I'm supporting, that's going to mean millions more dollars for Delaware and Delawareans to improve Amtrak and SEPTA, to improve our roads and bridges up and down the state, to make sure we've got better access to broadband so that your cell phone calls don't drop as you drive up and down the state, so that kids can get access to Wi-Fi for school and we can take advantage of telemedicine. I'm excited about a $580 billion new proposal for infrastructure for this country. But more than anything, I'm interested about how this will create good, high-paying jobs in Delaware and make our state easier to live in, more equitable and just, and more accessible in this digital age. For more information, go to my website, coons.senate.gov. Thanks.
We are in for a treat. Many in the city of Wilmington know this gentleman to be pastor, doctor. I know him as a friend and someone that I can call upon. I also call him a shepherd in the field. And I'm so excited to sit here with the newly elected Bishop, Silvester Beaman. How are you, Bishop?
Jordan, I'm wonderful. How about yourself?
I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed because I'm sitting here with you.
Yeah, okay.
Congratulations first is an order to you, man. How are you feeling?
Man, it's a long journey.
Yeah.
It was one of the most difficult things I had to do to become elected a bishop in our church. But I'm feeling wonderful and ecstatic. I'm excited about the potential work, going off to South Africa to serve the people there, as well as Namibia and Angola. Wow. And so I'm really excited.
Now, I can only imagine, I know you're excited, but I can only imagine how your wife, your children, the members at Bethel are feeling.
Yeah.
I was watching the whole campaign. You had, I couldn't find not one person that wasn't out here. I'm a believer in Beaman, right? So I was changing my profile picture now. How what are you hearing? How are people in the city of Wilmington feeling? What are you hearing?
Well, first, my wife and family who are directly impacted by this election, they're excited. They've been to South Africa as well. I've been there 16 times. My wife has been, I think, 3. My children twice. Corey has been 3 times, I believe. And so they're excited. They know where we're going. I have a lot of friends. My roommate in college actually was from Kryfontein, which is a city not too far from Cape Town. Wow. And I'm his last son's godfather, and he is godfather to my daughter, Asaya. Wow. So we have relationships, friendships, and, so we're excited about the work and about reconnecting with people. Yeah. My church obviously backed me 100%. I would not be sitting here as a bishop in the AME church if I hadn't had such a wonderful time in Bethel. Yeah. I've been there 28 years. Wow. 28 years. That's unheard of for a Methodist church, because we only receive an appointment for a year. So that means
you're doing something right.
I received 28 appointments to this congregation. And so, and it's a little bittersweet because I've been there 28 years. So there's some people, I'm the only pastor, children and young adults, I'm the only pastor they've ever known. Wow. And so it's bittersweet. They're happy for me. They wanted to elevate me to this position. But now it's settling in that we're going to lose our pastor. Yeah. And someone else is going to come and occupy that office.
You know, when I saw the post and heard the news, I immediately went to 2 scriptures, Psalm 23:1, the Lord is my shepherd, as well as Luke 2, verses 4 through 11, where it talks about the shepherd minding its flock. Right. And the reason, when I saw the news, I was excited because I immediately thought of a sermon Bishop T.D. Jakes preached on shepherd in the field. And I always see you out in the field, in the community. Now, while you're servicing Bethel, you are a great husband, great father, grandfather, but you still find time to come out into the city of Wilmington to address all kinds of racial, social issues. How do you find time to do all of that?
Because I saw it all as part of the call. I saw it all as part of my responsibility. I'm just not the pastor of the people that sit in the pews. I'm a pastor in the community. In fact, my doctoral dissertation was exactly about that. The church being a viable entity in the entire neighborhood, impacting the neighborhood and making a difference. Plus, I'm a child of the 60s, born in the 1960s, so reared through the 60s and the 70s. And the church played an integral role in social justice. And I was fed on that, very active in my hometown as a teenager. And so it just became part and parcel of who even when I went to Bermuda, I became very, very active in the community and in the politics and in government, because I really believe that the church has to be relevant. And being relevant, we have to speak to the condition of the human.
Yeah. Now, for individuals that don't know, there is a difference, and correct me if I'm wrong, there is a difference between a pastor and a bishop. Now that you've had this bestowed upon you as bishop, what does that entail? What kind of job responsibilities are going to be expected of you? It's my understanding you have a district. For those that are watching, can you help educate us on understanding what's the difference there?
In the Methodist tradition or the Methodist polity, be it African Methodist, Episcopal, United Methodist, UAME, whatever. Our bishops do not pastor local churches. A bishop is more of an administrator who supervises or superintends churches within a geographical location. And so I consider myself to be the pastor to the pastor and the people. In the 15th Episcopal District where I've been assigned, there is the Cape Conference, the Bowling Conference, the East Cape Conference, Kalahari, Queenston, and then the country of Namibia and Angola.
Wow.
So all of those, that geographical location, it's about 250 odd churches. I have the superintendency. I have to shepherd that entire flock. And my wife has a role.
Oh.
So her role is the Episcopal District Supervisor.
Wow.
So for all of those churches that have missionary societies that do work in their various communities or whatnot, she has to be the superintendent of that or the supervisor of that.
Wow.
And so that's the difference. So here at Bethel, I pastor that congregation and then of course active in the community. As a bishop, I'm pastoring, that geographical location.
Now, how long will you be in Africa?
I'm going to be, I have been assigned to 2024.
Okay.
And so in July of 2024, we will have another general conference. Our general conference meet every 4 years.
Wow.
And at that general conference, I will either be reassigned to the 15th Episcopal District or to any of the other 20 Episcopal districts within our worldwide church.
Wow.
And most likely, I'll be probably brought back home.
Okay.
But someone said, wow, we hate to see you go to Africa. And I said to them, Africa needs a bishop too. And so I'm excited about going to be a shepherd in the field.
Yeah, and you continue to do it so effortlessly. Every time that I visited Bethel, you're sitting there servicing your church. And that's why I keep going back to the scripture that I heard on TBN, shepherd in the field. And that's when I hear that scripture, that sermon, I immediately think of you. How did you feel being in Orlando? Talk to me about the AME conference now. What is the process like when you're down in Orlando? Because my grandmother, she was like, listen, your man, your boy, he's in Orlando at the AME conference. I was like, I didn't even know about this. So what's the process?
Well, I think the Democratic National Convention.
Okay. And see, now you're speaking my language. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I thought I would say that. It's a convention.
Okay.
And we have delegates from around the world, 1,600 or more were in Orlando. We were in a hybrid situation. We were not in a big convention hall. We were all over the convention center. Each Episcopal district had its own location. And so that made it difficult and interesting, but it was still nevertheless very, very high energy, high impact. At night, I'm going from district to district to give my stump speech, and the bishops would give me, you got 90 seconds, And so that was the process. It was very, it's almost like a carnival-like atmosphere, charged with a lot of energy. The meetings are very passionate because we're discussing laws and reforming our book of discipline. And then, of course, you got these big elections at the end of the week. And so, it was really something. And so right after, me and my wife took our whole family and they went to Disney World. And my wife and I, we stayed in the hotel room.
Nice. Now, one of my favorite highlights was watching when Reverend Perry, one of your pastors at your church, shared the video when our president, Delaware's own President Joe Biden, gave you a call to congratulate you. How did you feel when you got that call?
Well, first of all, during the week, we were having sessions. And of course, they said, we're now going to have greetings from the President of the United States. Because normally at our conference, whoever's running for president, because it's always during the election year, they would come and speak. And so he gets on and he greets the protocol. And then he says, "To my adopted pastor."
That's all.
And you can hear the roars
Yeah.
from the rooms around,
Yeah.
you know, that he is highlighting. And he said, you know, he talked about the prayer, the benediction. And so, and then later on, at the end of his speech, he again gave me a shout out. And so I was amazed that after being elected, not more than 5 or 10 minutes later, a gentleman by the name of Mr. Sebree, who's part of the Biden's administration, said, "Got a call for you." And he hands me the phone. He said, "It's the President of the United States."
It's a call you can't turn down.
I felt like I just won the Super Bowl or the NBA championship.
Yeah, no, I can only imagine.
And he shared with me his excitement, his joy, happiness, and again said he hates to see me leave and go somewhere else, but my election was a blessing to the church, as I had been a blessing to Delaware.
Yeah.
And I was just moved by that.
Yeah.
And so I didn't know they weren't filming it either. So when I see it on Facebook, I was like, I didn't know you guys were filming.
Listen, you got to have memories stored,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Well, listen, I can't thank you enough, Bishop, for all that you continue to do. I know the word that you've carried and words and sermons that you've carried at Bethel are going to be magnified wherever you go. It's been a blessing to me and my family every time we came to visit your church. So congratulations on your election.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward. I'm going to keep following, keep texting you. You know,
All right.
I'm going to keep being a big support because you've been a big support to me. So I
God
can't
bless
thank you
you,
enough.
man. Thank you.
Congratulations,
Bless you.
Bishop.
Bless
All
you.
right. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, you guys. So listen, special thanks to Dorcea for letting me hang out here because I've also had the honor and privilege of running into the author, the poet, the mastermind herself, Sebree. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am so good. I cannot believe I'm running into you. This is fantastic. Such a fan of your work.
Thank you.
I mean, just sitting here thinking about what I could possibly ask you because of so much you've accomplished. I mean, for me, it's like, let's go back to the beginning.
Okay.
Right? Let's take it all the way back real quick, just so, for certain people who maybe aren't familiar with you.
Yeah.
What got you into poetry and what made you decide this is it? This is what I'm going to do with my life. I'm going to be a poet.
Yeah, I always knew I was going to be a writer.
Yeah.
So I have like a journal from 2nd grade that says, I love to write, and it still feels very true to me right now. And so that is my truth, and I always knew I was going to be a writer. I never thought I was going to be a poet, though.
Really?
I thought I was going to be the next F. Scott Fitzgerald and write the next Great Gatsby. But it turns out I'm terrible at all of the things that fiction requires, like plot and setting and character development and like stories that take longer than, that I can't just give you a burst of language and abandon you. And so I realized in college that poetry might be my thing.
Okay.
I wasn't ready to accept it yet. I still thought I was going to write fiction. But it was actually someone else, a fellow student, who wrote a poem. And it was less than 2 pages long, and I left it feeling devastated and like I knew her family intimately. And I thought, okay, I want to be involved in that type of work. I want to be involved in a work that makes people feel in a compressed space. And so I thought I'd write short stories, but then I went off to graduate school and I read a whole bunch of other people's fiction and thought to myself, this takes a lot of revision and there are lots and lots of words. Maybe I think I'm a poet. And, I think it took a while for me to embrace that I was a poet. Yeah, there's no money in it.
No, well.
And when you're trying to write a novel, you hope that maybe it'll be a novel that people make for a movie or something like that. And so I think it took me a while to come to terms with the fact that I was a poet. But then I realized, my goodness, I love the economy of language. And so here I am.
And for me, it's like, I feel like poetry, yes, novels can be moving and inspiring, but poetry it packs that punch.
Yeah.
It's something that can really just move and inspire someone. And it's one of those things, too, that's open to interpretation as well. So it's incredible. And you've done such amazing work in poetry. Just to mention a couple of things, but your first book that you published, which was MISTRESS,
Yes.
was very successful. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so Mistress looks at Black women's experiences across the divide of generation. So a contemporary speaker who has my name is featured prominently, but also Sally Hemings, a historical figure who had at least 6 of Thomas Jefferson's children. And so I worked on that book for, maybe 6, 7, 8 years. And it was really how I was finding my voice as a poet and sort of what I wanted to do and say. And the commitment I had to telling Black women's stories was really solidified in that first book. And I'm just so excited that it did well. I still feel, it only came out in 2019, so it still feels like my baby. I can't believe I have a second one out. Yeah.
And then COVID hit, and I think we all tried to ignore that year.
Yeah,
right?
and so the last thing I did before COVID hit was go to the NAACP Image Awards, where my book was nominated. And so I came back and I was sick, and then I got better, and then the whole world shut down. And so, it felt like this weird abrupt end to celebrating that book, though it was a pretty great way to end celebrating that book.
Very much so.
Yeah.
I mean, and I got to ask you about that. We got to talk about the NAACP award. So when you found out about the nomination, I mean, how did you feel?
I honestly thought it was a mistake, which is typically how it works for me. I always think that the good things are a mistake. So I was at a work retreat, and I sort of walked up to someone. And I said, I think I've been nominated for an NAACP Image Award, but it's in a month and a half. I probably can't go, right? It's in the middle of the semester. And the people I was talking to were confused that I was confused.
Right.
And they were like, we should absolutely celebrate. And then I got into it and got to buy all these big, beautiful dresses. But I was really just in shock. I think I was really scared in writing the book that I had failed or that I wasn't speaking to enough people. And so it was a great honor to get this nomination from my community. I just felt so overwhelmed and excited. I took my mom.
Yes, of course.
And we both got dressed up and had a nice time. And we get to say now that I took a picture with Michael B. Jordan. I really didn't, but you can see me really, 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 really far in the background of a photo that he's also in.
But you know what? That's okay, because you still did.
Yes.
I mean, you're in the same photo, you took a photo, right? Perfect. I mean, and congratulations on that. Such a huge testament to your writing. But another reason why I'm really excited to run into you now is you have a recent book that just came out. I think it was in June, right?
Yes, June 1.
Yes, and it's called Field Study. All right, you got to tell me a little bit about this, because I did order a copy. I just haven't gotten it yet.
Yes.
But I'm really looking forward to reading this. So tell me a little bit about it. What should I expect when I go to read it?
You should expect to forget everything you think you know about what a poem is.
Okay.
It's written in a way that blurs the line between prose poetry and nonfiction or the lyric essay. And so I feel like I'm sort of inventing my own form in a way. It's a book-length work, so there are these little prose chunks that are separated, and they tell many stories, but I guess the main arc is the story of how one Black woman found herself in a relationship with a white man and how she recovered from said relationship. And it's looking at interracial desire, yes, but it's also looking at racism and sexism and colorism and how one woman and all of the things that affected her in her identity formation, how those things led her to where she is now.
Wow.
And so people ask if the speaker is me, and I say the truest thing I can say is that the speaker from Mistress is also the same speaker from Field Study. So the Chet'la that appears in Mistress is the same person who appears in Field Study, and she's taking up more space, and she feels a little bit more confident. She's ready to tell her story and to unpack what's happened to her and where she thinks she might be going.
Oh, wow. I can't wait to read this. This is going to be fantastic. Now, I think you have the book with you.
I do have the book with me right here.
Could I twist your arm and beg you for just a small sample of it?
Yes, of course.
Oh, I'm going to be right here.
I'll read somewhere from the middle towards the end.
Okay.
But I think it should be a section that speaks all to itself.
Okay.
Field Study. Sometimes I can't remember if it's gravel or graphite lodged in my palm, but I know I was wounded, forever altered. I don't know where the rupture began. I don't think it's ironic that hole has a hole in it. I think it's hard for me to admit that from me, I think you stole something. What is the distance between dream and nightmare, between there and terror, an imperceptible fissure in a tank? The new forever, The two men I've loved are both fathers to daughters and sons. Me, mother to no one. Me, mother to dead ovum. Some nights, waves howl at a hidden moon. The sky a cloak of clouds and heat lightning lighting the ominous. Some nights, mosquitoes feast on me, leaving welts on my newly sunned skin. Tonight, I'm the kind of ripe where I realize you're at my fingertips. The ones that traced sun-raw tan lines, wound coils in your thicket. Perhaps it's because tonight I am ovulating. Is the Colosseum beautiful because it's destroyed or because it's still standing? For what was my body a vessel? For what will it be?
From the master himself, everybody. That was incredible.
Thank you.
Oh, I cannot wait to get this. Watch me go home later and it'll be in the mail.
Fingers
And I
crossed.
am so happy. I will be so happy if it does. So this has been fantastic. I'm so glad to run into you.
Thank you.
Before I let you go, what's next? Anything in the works? Anything planned?
There is a poetry collection in the works, and there is an essay collection in the works, and I am actually embarking on a 6-week road trip in hopes of working on some of those essays. And so it'll be a little bit about travel and the American experience for a Black woman. So
I love it.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm looking forward to that.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, thank you so much for sitting down and talking to me and letting the audience get a little snippet of all of this too. I'm ready to dig in. I don't know about
Sounds
you.
like a plan.
All right.
Yeah.
So guys, hang with us. We'll be back shortly.
Government doesn't make a move without an agenda, some type of plan. The problem is we haven't been on the agenda. Sometimes we're overlooked. Sometimes our interests aren't the interest of those in power. I'm your host, Kerwin Gaines, on DETV's new show, The Agenda. We're going to do our best to ensure that you, Delawareans, are knowledgeable about what's going on in the Assembly. Federal government, local government, it doesn't matter. We're going to do our best to ensure that folks that make the agenda on a daily basis have to answer for it. Let them explain what they're doing. If it affects you, it's on the agenda.
All right, so I'm super excited. Our next guest is Amillion The Poet, a Delaware native. Hi, Amillion, how are you today?
Doing well.
Or should I say Amillion The Poet? Do I have to say it all together?
Amillion,
Amillion.
tomato.
All right, Amillion The Poet,
Yes,
indeed.
ma'am.
How are you today, brother?
I'm blessed to be here. How you doing?
Awesome, blessed and highly favored.
Yes, ma'am.
Indeed. Listen, you have so many amazing things going on for you right now. But before we even dig into all of that, you're originally from Dover, correct?
I was actually originally born in Washington, D.C.
Well, look at that. Okay.
But I came here so early. You know, it's kind of like a father. Fathers who raises a child, not who has it. So
Yeah.
Delaware's on.
Well, all right. That's exciting.
Yes, ma'am.
How did you get started into poetry, rap?
Just always had a way with words before I actually knew that's what it was. They said I was rhyming without,
Yeah.
you know, even trying to. So I always tell people, like, my life never rhymed, but I made it poetry. So
I like that.
it was real natural, you know, just using my way with words. But I would say it started for me around like maybe 13 when I knew it was for real.
Okay.
I did like some little, you know, you scram your little
Yes.
homework assignment. Oh, you got to do a poem. And I did something real fast. I was late to class. I turned in, I thought I got in trouble. And they brought the principal in. I'm like, listen, I'm sorry.
Oh, Lord.
And then next thing you know, I won a scholarship and everything.
That's
And,
amazing.
You know, fast forward, we right here.
That's so awesome. Listen, so I know during COVID, you came out with, first off, you have lots of music out there. And if anybody has ever looked on YouTube, listen, videos, all of that. Even when you go and Google, I like how, and I do this sometimes, whenever I have a song I really like, I might Google to try and see the lyrics. All your, like, you got lyrics posted and everything. You're super
ma'am.
official and legit. I love it.
I appreciate that.
You recently got a deal with iHeart.
Yeah.
Tell me a little more.
Yeah, it's so fresh and new. It hasn't even been 3 weeks.
Wow.
So I'm still processing it. But basically, I kind of stumbled upon it, to be honest with you. I was actually going out there as an executive. I also have a new record label, 1&8 Records.
Nice. Okay.
So it was just, I feel like we blessed to be blessing. So I want to help other Delaware artists and international artists kind of bridge the gap.
Okay.
So long story short, I went to take one of my artists out there to get some, media training, the whole nine. They ended up hearing my voice. I was sitting in the back. They was like, hold on, you're not just an executive. Who are you? So I told him, and he just presented the idea, have you ever thought about radio? And I'm talking all the time. So I'm like, no, I don't like talking for no reason. He said, no, just think about it as your own station. And when the business came about, it was a partnership. So
wow.
Big salute to WDRB, big salute to iHeartRadio for that deal, man. It was a blessing.
That's so awesome. So tell me, with this new platform that you have, how is it that you look to use your voice? Because everybody has something to say, but if you listen to the poetry in your music, you have something very specific to say. And for me, and what I've been able to digest, it's a form of encouragement.
I appreciate that.
Even the song you had about quarantine and COVID.
Okay, you doing your research, okay.
Listen,
okay.
I love music, first and foremost.
Okay.
Music to me is just what feelings sound like. So
Yes,
during quarantine, I feel like we all digested a bunch of music. So you had a song out and you actually put a video to it as well. I was like, okay, all right, this knocks. I like this. Listen to it in the car and everything. But you have something to say. So with this new platform, tell me what kinds of things can we look forward to hearing you say?
Kind of like what me and you are doing. I looked at this as the lines between my poetry and my books.
Yeah.
The lines in between my music and my shows. This is the conversation, and now people get the why.
Yeah.
So I looked at it like that. Now I get to, kind of tell them what it was inspiring instead of them just jamming. Now I get to put the conversation in between.
Context to it, definitely.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
And the other big part of that is it's much bigger than me.
Yeah.
I really know how hard it is to get your voice heard from a small place like Delaware. But through my tours and through my different moves that I made, I wanted to be able to be a platform too. That's the other big thing. It's not really just about me and my artists. It's about our state, and it's about everybody else that has a voice that hasn't been heard.
Indeed. Listen, right now is such a prime time for the state of Delaware.
Yes, ma'am.
For all of us who are from here, and then people of color, and then you merge it all together with you being a man of color, and you're repping the state of Delaware. That is so amazing. That representation alone, it just crosses barriers. So I think that's really awesome. You have something else going on. Tell me a little about Forbes for the culture.
Oh man, you're gonna have them thinking I'm a millionaire already.
Listen, you are that
guy.
You are that guy. So.
The thing I love about that, even though Forbes is this big brand, I like that it was about how I use my entertainment to affect the community. So that's what was big, because I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't even gonna tell them to release that press release. Because it just comes with a lot of things that you don't understand sometimes. It comes with that, know. But definitely, it was an honor. Big salute to Forbes for the culture. It was about more than entertainment. It's about how you was affecting your community. And I feel like that's what success is always about. It's not just the amount of money you have, it's how many people you bless.
Indeed. How are you truly giving back to your community?
Exactly. So I'm big on that. And the more I get, the more I'm going to give.
Indeed. So tell me this. That's really, and this is what was on my mind, but a great segue into it. So you're originally from DC, but you grew up in Dover.
Yeah, definitely. Dover.
Your time spent in Dover, how did that influence your poetry through rap?
Oh, most definitely. Well, I mean, just Delaware, period, but especially Dover. Like, that just holds the key to my heart, only because it was where I found my voice. I was originally a Delaware Basketball Player of the Year.
Oh, yeah?
Yes,
Let
ma'am.
me find out.
And when my daughter was born, that's when I forgo my contract, because my father didn't happen to be in my life as much as he wanted to. So I always knew I was going to be a hands-on. I knew I was going to use my voice, but I thought I was going to use my basketball following. And instead, he wanted me to do the humble route. So what Dover did was it let me know that I had a voice, because once I once I became proud of my name and my voice, it was like, oh, now I'm going to let you know. So like I said, it's bigger than me now, but Dover did all that for me. It set that home base. Before it was overseas, before it was West Coast, I literally went from Dover to Slower Lower to the beach, all the way up here in Wilmington. I always made sure I hit every part and use it as a microcosm.
That's so awesome. You know, so I'm originally from Delaware, but I have moved around to different places, and I've always been, I'm not a kid anymore, but I was always that kid, you know, people, where are you from? Where are you from?
Right.
And I would always, I'm from Delaware, Wilmington, Delaware.
Proudly.
And proudly, you know, and I get all the jokes, Delaware,
Right.
you know.
Right.
But I've always represented where I'm from. I've always stood tall and proud. So it's funny how we always think that our path might be in one direction, but as you continue to elevate throughout maturity, you kind of see how things take on a path of their own.
Oh, yeah.
But then brings you full circle right back to where you always were meant to be, you know?
It really did go full
So
circle,
even
too.
though you didn't take the path of basketball,
Right.
but you knew that you had a voice that you had to use, you still came full circle back into using that voice in
You said
such
it
a larger
exactly.
way.
You said it exactly. Like I went over, they was like, why would you leave this overseas basketball contract?
Mm-hmm.
And now we done been around the world 3 times.
Look at that.
You know, so you said a man of the culture. I'm also a father first, but a man of God. So I just trust his vision. Whatever he got for me, I don't even question it.
You can listen, you can't. Because what's the saying? Man makes plans and God laughs?
Laughs at him.
Listen.
He done laughed at me a few times.
Okay. Listen, I still have some plans of my own, and he'd be like, yeah, indeed. Well, speaking of plans, tell me, what new projects do you have upcoming?
Oh man, we outside now, basically.
Hey, we outside.
So we outside.
Yes.
So I got a special project. I'm gonna leak it here exclusively. It's called Island Flow.
Island, Island
I
Flow.
just came back from St. Thomas. I'm going to be one of the first hip hop artists to do their carnival. I was invited back. So as soon as this world opened up, I went from the quarantine to Canada and St. Thomas. So I want to kind of give that vibe. Everywhere I go, I like to show Delaware and the world how it inspired me. So I'm going to be working with different international artists from that island and from different islands. It was St. Croix, St. Thomas, you know, so that's going to be the next project.
Okay.
And I'm looking forward to it.
That sounds
forward
awesome.
to it.
Bring some island beat to it.
Yeah.
Have everybody moving a little
Love
bit.
diversity.
Definitely.
I love diversity.
And listen, that's a buzzword right now, diversity and inclusion.
Yes,
so to be able to cross the borders and bring some different influences into your music, I think that'll do some really big things for
It's
you.
going to be a nice vibe.
Yeah, most definitely. Do you have anything else that's upcoming you'd like to tell us about?
Well, here, I mean, representing Delaware, we have a big healing over at Bullies and Bullets event. The mayor.
Okay, yes.
He just now, they embarked upon the pastor. They reached out to me probably about a week ago, and that's going to be, oh man, we're going to have to put a little caption while I'm doing this because I don't want to mess up. I want to say the 7th.
Okay, all right.
But please, if we'll get that date
Most
on
definitely.
there.
So
but that's free
we have
to the
some
public.
information up for you so you can take a look and be able to attend.
Definitely. That and the Mill Summit. The
Yes,
Mill
I was
Summit
going to
will be
ask
the-
you
the
next
second.
about the Mill Summit.
Yes,
Indeed.
man. That'll be August 2nd. Big salute to Nudie and them for bringing me on for that. I'm looking
New
forward
Diddy
to that.
runs the city.
Right.
That's my
New
guy.
Diddy.
What up,
Yes,
Nudie?
sir. Yes.
Yeah. So listen, that's super awesome. You're going to do a virtual panel with them, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything that you could share with us about it, or?
They just want to get to see the business side. Everyone, you know, the artist side has allowed me to be in this seat and allowed me to have the iHeart deal, but I'm ready to show them the executive side. I also work with a lot of youth, but the executive side allows me to help, you know, brands and other, like I said, artists from the area.
That's really awesome.
You know, so I'm just looking forward to that, showing the business side, because
Yeah.
in the entertainment business, actually technically it's 75% business.
Business, indeed.
You know.
Indeed, people need to know that. And it's just funny because you hear about different artists having challenges with their contracts and other business aspects. And that's where you have to understand. It's all about the business. As we get ready to handle some more business, I truly just want to appreciate you for sharing some time with me
appreciate you
today.
too.
Thank
I
you
really
so
do.
much.
Really
It's
do.
so awesome to have and I'm calling you a Delaware native, sitting on the couch and doing such big things. So, and keeping your community at heart. That's really important. So I truly appreciate you. We're going to go over to the Dorcea and catch up with JJ and Jordan. They're doing a bartender challenge. So let's check you guys out.
My name's Jess. I am a bartender here at Dorcea. Today I'm going to be showing you one of my signature cocktails of my own creation. It is a morning song. So what you're going to need is we have some Godiva white chocolate liqueur over here. We're going to use Absolute vanilla vodka, and we will also be using some Frangelico, which is a hazelnut liqueur. I have my ice, I have some fresh squeezed orange juice, and a coupe glass with some vanilla syrup for a garnish. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with vodka for the base. Going to do about 1.5 ounces. We're going to do about 3/4 ounce of the Godiva white chocolate. And we're going to grab our Frangelico. That will just be a 1/2 ounce. It's a strong flavor in there. All right. I do an entire squeezed fresh orange. Put it in your shaker and give it a nice shake. Strain into your glass. And last but not least, we're going to do a couple of orange peels shaved on top. All right, serve up and enjoy.
Hi, my name's Sebree. I'm a bartender here at Dorcea. Today I'm going to be making you an Evelyn, probably our most popular drink on our drink list. It's basically a jungle bird, which is a classic cocktail made with tequila. So we're gonna start with Hornitos, 2 ounces. This is the Reposado. We're doing a 1/4 ounce of Orgeat, which is an almond liqueur. Doing a half ounce of Campari. Fresh squeezed lime juice, about a 1/2 ounce. 1 ounce of pineapple juice. 1 ounce of pink grapefruit juice. And that's it. Shake it up. And then you're gonna garnish it with a lime wedge and a pineapple leaf. There you go. There you go. Enjoy.
We're here at Dorcea with TikTok sensation, Miss First State Destination, Alexis. What's going on, Alexis? Thanks for being here.
Thank y'all for having me. I'm so excited. Get to be in y'all's presence.
Yes, we're excited that you're here with us, and especially for this.
I don't know if I'm excited about this or sitting next to you. I feel more famous just being next to you.
I'll be y'all in the middle.
Okay.
All right. I mean, because I want to do a TikTok with.
That's what I'm ready to do.
I think we should put that. We should put that together. Yeah.
One of those dances, do woes and stuff. So we are here.
Wait, where did you just sign me up for?
It was like a whoa. I didn't know.
Oh, okay.
I know it's one of them dances.
Okay. I didn't know what it was though.
But she ain't dancing. You have favorite spots, right?
Yeah, I show all the food views and vibes in Delaware. You might see me dance a little bit, but that's not me.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
She's like, I know my lane.
Yeah.
I'm gonna highlight some awesome stuff. Have you ever?
This is my lane. This
Okay.
Right here. This.
Have you ever been here before at Dorcea?
No, this is my first time.
Okay, nice. How about you, JJ? Is this your first
I've been here before. Yeah, I like it here.
I'm sold.
Yep.
First time and I'm already sold.
Listen, and we walk in with this. So this, what is this called, JJ?
So
what
this is the morning song.
Morning song.
Yes, and it was made by the lovely bartender Jess.
Okay.
So I have not tried this.
Okay.
So I'm excited to try this, and I
am
want to
too.
see if this thing actually sings.
So yeah, right. And so Alexis, what we're gonna do, we're gonna start tasting some drinks, and we're gonna judge these drinks.
Yep.
So we're gonna go.
Well, in honor of the Olympics, we're gonna judge it.
Oh,
So
okay.
we're gonna do it like Olympic style,
All right.
So we can score it from 0 to 10, just like
Okay.
the gymnastics do.
All right,
You
all
know.
right, all right. Sounds
And
good.
we're gonna see who the winner is. So we have this drink and another drink that we're gonna try next.
All right. Well, I'm ready. All right. So
You ready?
Get my palate going.
Okay.
All right, we're just gonna go in
All
for
right,
it. This
let's
is
go,
morning
let's
song.
go.
Wafting.
A little zesty.
Oh God.
Okay.
Oh man. Oh,
It's got like a creamsicle
Yeah.
taste to it, but
Do we
but
know
fresher.
what all's in it?
Oh, not off the top of my head. She did just go over it with
I'm
me.
tasting like some chocolate, some orange zest.
I think there's like a white Godiva chocolate or something along those lines in here.
This is dangerous.
Yes, because I feel like I'm typically like a fruity.
Me too.
Or nothing thick, but this.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. This is good.
That's really good.
And I love the
That's
presentation
good.
of it too. It's really pretty.
It's really cute. It's nice. I mean, I'm more of
And it
a
goes down
brown,
smooth.
go right to the thing, but that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's mean. All right, so how are we judging this? We got our papers
We got
out.
our yep. So we got our papers out.
All right. Oh, I need a Sharpie. Oh,
Hold
you
on.
guys got a Sharpie.
We'll share one.
Yeah, I'll share one.
But hold on, I'm not sharing my score.
Yeah,
though.
don't share your score yet. All right.
I'm gonna give.
All right, what are we doing this out of?
So
0
between
to
0 to
10.
10.
All right, and this is morning song.
Morning song. All right,
Morning
here you go.
Song. All right. What am I gonna give this? Morning song. Morning song.
While I wait.
Look, let me just do this.
Okay.
All right. Are you ready?
Got me
So we're gonna hold up our scores.
Ready? One,
1, 2,
two,
3.
What'd you do? 8? 8?
7. All right.
Oh,
So that's morning
you
song.
got a Simon Cowell over
what we
here.
got.
You're a little harsh.
I am.
Yes.
I am
A little
difficult.
harsh.
I am.
So why the,
I
why
gave
the
it a 7.
Why the 7?
I told you in the beginning, like, you know, I'm not a fruity drinking kind of guy. I go for scotch and that brown, get me to the point. But I'm telling you right now, this is good. When it comes to the flavor and everything, I'm for it. This is good. This
Okay.
Is good.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
So we're gonna put
So,
that over here.
here,
I'm
here.
gonna label it too. Morning song.
Morning song, so we remember
Yep.
for the tally later.
Oh, yes, yes.
All right, hold on. I'll start the pile over here, you
Yep.
guys.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So morning song is here.
Morning song.
Got
this
it.
one.
Got
All
it.
right. So now
All
we
right.
need. We're gonna get the other drinks.
So we're gonna have the crew bring us the Evelyn is
Yep.
next.
The wonderful.
I'm going to steal another sip here.
Go ahead.
That was good.
It was good. I mean,
It was.
it's nice and cool and refreshing, and it does have a really good like summery taste.
Yes.
So this is a part of their summer series
Yeah.
of drinks. Yep.
So
now we have.
What is this?
Thanks, Gia.
What is that?
This is the Evelyn.
That's the Evelyn.
What is that?
What a splash! What do you call it? I remember I messed up last time. What was this? Aioli?
Yeah, aioli.
What do you call it? Aloe.
An
Okay.
aloe, yes.
You know.
Jordan confused an aloe with aioli the last time we hung out, so it was an inside joke. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is so yes, this is the Evelyn, and this was made by another bartender here.
Okay.
Her name is Bree.
Okay.
So we'll give this one a go, and we'll do the same thing. We'll do a vote from 0 to 10.
Nice.
All right, ready?
And the name of this again?
The Evelyn,
The Evelyn.
or just Evelyn,
I
but
will say,
I call it the Evelyn.
presentation already.
Yeah,
Uh-huh,
they're selling me on
presentation is great.
presentation. All right, here we go.
Yeah, that's my cup of tea.
Good.
That's yep.
That's good. That's good. I
I
like
would be
that.
inclined to say a little
I like that.
stronger. So,
It is a
I
little
like that.
strong.
It is stronger.
depending how you like your
Is,
drinks.
I'm not. I think I'm a mixologist, but isn't it like when, depending on the sugar?
Depends on the pourer.
Yeah.
The pourer.
I think it boils
glad
down to
you
who's
said it.
pouring the drinks.
I'm glad you said it.
I think so.
I
Yeah,
swear,
yeah,
I think I'm a mixologist. All right, let's score this one.
All right, we ready?
All right, yep.
Go ahead. Oh, here, I got it here.
Okay, I'll let you go first.
Let's see.
That was good. The
It is
Evelyn.
really good.
Evelyn. Oh my.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
I'm
Let's
nervous,
see. Yeah,
but
that
I
one.
have a lot of criteria.
I know. But it checked off a lot of my boxes, though. I do like it. It is nice. It's a nice summer drink. It's nice and refreshing. I do like the presentation of it. And it is a little strong, which, you know what? That's okay.
I like it.
It's
I like
good.
it. All right,
Are you ready? 1,
Two,
2,
three.
3.
6, 7, 9.
9.
Wow.
Really?
Oh,
You know, I'll say this. I think anything above a 5 is good.
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Anything above a 5 is good.
But
So-
I want to explain mine a little bit.
Okay,
go ahead.
So, if we weren't doing this competition, then I would do a 10 out of 10. It was great. But from my understanding, I was looking at the menu because I haven't been to Dorcea before.
Uh-huh.
And the name sounds familiar. Is this on the
It
menu?
is on the menu, yes.
No.
Okay, see, that's what I thought. So, I don't know. I have to go with Jess with the originality.
Okay.
So,
I get it. No, I get your logic.
Sounds
That makes
good.
sense.
The points had to go down a bit.
Yeah.
All right, that's all right. Well, we're going to try another one, right? How many are we trying?
Nope, just those two.
Just those 2?
Just those two.
Yeah.
Sorry,
man.
Jordy.
How lit are you trying to get?
I know.
Listen, Linda, I was trying. All right, so that was good. So
So-
out of the 2 of those, I'm definitely going with morning song.
All right, so you guys obviously like the morning song
Yeah.
better.
Yep.
I preferred the Evelyn.
Okay.
That's all right, but you know what? It's up to the audience now. It's up to you guys to figure out which one you like. So if you come in to Dorcea and you try one of these drinks, remember the names, right? Morning Song and Evelyn, and you mention Good Morning Wilmington, at Dorcea they'll give you a discount on your check. So go on in, again, mention the show and mention the name of the drink, and you're all set. So tell us what you think.
Now they come and try this food.
And try the food,
Oh,
because the food
man.
is just so good.
This is
I mean,
amazing.
look at this.
I ain't never had a problem with the food.
I'm ready
or the drinks.
to eat.
Yeah. Well,
Guys.
special thanks to the owner and Dorcea.
Yeah,
I
thanks,
can't thank
Tony.
you guys enough. Tony,
Yep.
you guys did that. The salmon, I'm about to tear this stuff up, especially
He's
after
been
drinking these 2 drinks. I've been waiting. So
I
can't.
think this might be my next things to do.
No, I'm gonna look for it on your. I'm gonna look for it on your
See?
TikTok. I can't wait.
Yep.
Well, thank you, Alexis, for joining us.
Thank
it was
y'all
a treat
again
having you
for
with us.
having me.
Yeah.
I'm
Absolute
excited
pleasure.
to be here.
Yep.
This is great. You
This is
know,
good.
can always get a drink.
Cheers. All right, we'll see you guys.
See you guys.
Clink.
Cheers.
Enjoy.
Welcome back, you guys. What a fun time.
You guys
we
look like
had
you had
over
loads
at
of fun.
Dorcea that night. Yeah.
And y'all know who's supposed to be drinking.
I know.
Giving
It
up.
was worth it, though.
It was.
It looked like
It was worth it.
What was
And
that? The morning song?
Morning Song and the Evelyn. I don't know if it's called the Evelyn or just Evelyn,
Morning song.
but I like to refer
It
to
was
it as
singing to
the
my heart.
Evelyn. Yeah.
I thought of you because it reminded me of when that drink I got you that one time. Remember that poinsettia? You're like,
the poinsettia,
that hit my
yes.
heart. She was just like,
Yeah.
What is
No,
this?
We had mimosas. We met one morning, and matter of fact, it was after. So we had birthday shenanigans.
This
For
one's
me,
birthday.
yeah, we have another round
Yes,
of birthday
coming up.
shenanigans coming up.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna get a, what is it?
Your
A
poinsettia.
poinsettia,
Uh-huh.
yes. So you're gonna get a poinsettia.
Okay.
Bruh.
And it will change your
Bruh.
My life.
morning
Bruh.
drinking life. Yes.
You will love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I look forward to it.
And you had a great interview.
Listen, Amillion The Poet,
Mm-hmm.
so inspiring. Just to have another kid from Delaware down in Dover.
Yeah.
You know, doing
What
some
his
big
name?
things.
I like that.
I'm
Just a
super
kid.
proud.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, I'm all for. I have a heart
Yeah.
for the community, so
Oh, yeah.
I love to hear when people go and move and shake in other places of
And
our
then come
country and come back and
Yeah.
pour right back into the community where you're from. So
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's awesome.
And did you guys see Bishop Beaman?
Yes.
I love
That's
it.
so awesome.
That man is a shepherd in the field. He is always active. He's a great, loving husband, father,
Yes.
but then he has no problem coming out
At all.
into the community and addressing social issues. So, I thought this whole getting a bishopship bestowed upon him was like spot on.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
I'm excited. He's just growing and touching lives, touching
Indeed.
everything, and reaching broad. And
Yeah.
talking about reaching abroad. Did you guys hear about Newcastle County?
Yes.
They just got approved for the purchase of 17 acres.
Listen,
17 acres
That's a lot.
from Delaware Hospice Inc. on July 13th.
Yes.
That is a lot of land.
Listen,
That's a
and
lot.
I'm
That's
trying
a
to
lot of land.
quantify 17 acres. So
Don't I own a piece of that? Like, just saying. I went right to reparations.
acre
But-
and a mule.
Listen, give me. I want my mule. I want my mule at least 1 acre. Just a piece. I'm gonna call you, Matt. We gonna talk.
Oh my
But no,
goodness.
I think that's amazing that they have obtained that. And
think so, too.
the land costs $1 million to buy.
Yeah.
But the amount was already included in their line item in their capital budget.
Yep.
So this is gonna be pretty dope.
And I mean, and when you really think, that is a lot of land. And I think it's supposed to stem from like Carousel Park
Yes.
all the way
White
into
Clay
Newark into White Clay Creek.
That and again, attempting to quantify, because when I think of that area, so that's Pike Creek
Yep.
going all the way to White Clay Creek.
Yeah.
That is
Huge.
massive.
It's huge.
That's
that sounds
massive.
like Newcastle County.
All of it.
Just about.
It really does.
Right. The state of Delaware is like
Yeah, like it's yay big, but
Newcastle. That is.
that's huge.
It's
that's
massive,
huge.
yeah.
I'm about to sign up and see what I can get. I'm always trying to figure out something. To get
I'm
these.
curious what exactly they're going to do with it.
too.
I know Sam, one of our producers, he likes to bike there.
Yeah.
I wonder how I have to check this out. I don't think I could walk the whole thing in one
No,
try.
you don't think you could walk 17 acres? I
Listen, get me a golf cart.
Listen,
There you go.
With this challenge I'm doing right now, I told you I'm trying to slim down.
I know. Well, listen, we got to work off Dorcea. Maybe we'll go take a walk.
Blame you for that.
That's not my fault.
I blame you
Don't
for
you
that.
put that on me. We can blame executive producer Leslie
Yup,
for that one.
putting it on Leslie
that
too.
was not me.
They just pushing the pressure.
Uh-huh.
Did you guys hear about the Bucks?
Who did not?
The Bucks won NBA championship.
Yes,
this
was
is their
massive.
second championship since the 70s.
I want to say the 70s.
Yes.
Yeah, like, was it
71?
Wow.
Yeah, 71. Indeed. Now, I know there were a lot of people who were really hoping that the Suns would win. The Suns haven't been to the finals in a very long time.
He said meh.
Man,
Did you catch it? All right.
I heard him. But listen, so Chris Paul, CP, I would have loved to have seen him get this. He's very deserving. He exemplifies such great leadership. But Giannis, listen, he dropped 50, like doing a thing. Now, I know his name is Giannis, but we have a producer here,
Yes.
Gia. She just really believes he's a baddie,
He's
which
a baddie.
he is. But you know, yeah.
What,
Indeed,
baddie at his game?
all around.
Yeah.
Yeah, all around. From looks to skills.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, indeed. Okay. But no, Giannis has a really dope story, and I don't think many people actually know like the backstory on him.
I'm not too familiar with it.
Yeah, African descent, had to migrate because of trying to get away from some conflicts in his country, and like there's a whole lot of backstory. Wow. Into how he got into what happened before he got into the NBA. But for him to take such leadership on the Bucks and to really pull this through, I'm impressed. I'm super impressed. And then like his free throw shots and everything, like he really exhibited precision, repetition, and follow through.
Someone was
I would say.
I want to go to a basketball game.
Yeah,
right.
go.
We need to like
Let's
look
go.
that up.
Let's go.
I'm just saying.
was
I think that would be a fun time.
That'd be dope.
It would be a really fun
Yeah,
time.
we
And
gotta
they
do
have
that.
drinks there too.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
See, y'all just
Come on, Jordan.
No.
Oh.
My birthday's coming up and I'm going somewhere.
Yes.
Kinda-
Look, we have
trying to
JJ's
slim
birthday,
it
so
down.
you got to get ready for JJ's birthday.
That's what I was trying to
shenanigans.
tell him at Dorcea. He just wasn't listening.
And
It's
if
okay.
you remember how hard we went for mine, just
Yes, I do.
fun
family
times.
unit here, yeah.
Responsible.
It's a family thing here.
Yeah,
guys.
it is.
If you haven't picked
Yes,
it up.
indeed.
Yeah, we all blend. Well, I have always enjoyed working with you guys.
I know,
Love
it's such
this.
an amazing time.
This is fun Monday morning.
Yes.
To all the viewers, thank you for watching. Big shout out to DETV and Ivan and the crew. Thank you for watching.
Good morning, woman.